Hey everybody, it's me Liv. Welcome to the Slimline Christmas Card Hop. So this month over at Craft Collabs, I was asked to participate in the collaboration that is being hosted by Whimsy Stamps. Now for those of you who don't know Whimsy Stamps, they are absolutely been one of my favorite stamp companies for quite some time. And not only that, but they're one of the people who really came out the first with the Slimline dies to be used, and they have a fantastic array of them. Now I am going to be creating my own background here and using both one of the Slimline dies, the Scenic Window, as well as combining it with their stamps, which is the Gossip Girls Christmas theme one, to create the card that you're going to see. So first off, I'm going to take my paper. I'm using Bristol Smooth in case anyone is wondering, and I'm going to be using my Distress inks. I have the stencil in my stash, and I started off with the Candy Apple Red, and then I'm moving on to the Forest Moss for the other side. Then I will take this same stencil and rotate it so that I created this plaid kind of checkered pattern here on it. On the red side, I'm going to go over it with some forest moss. And then on the forest moss side, I'm going to go over it with some candy apple red. Now, if you're wondering why I have that white piece, it's solely so I don't get my fingers way too inky, because I am one of those people who tend to get everything with ink all over the place. But generally, it's because I really have no patience for waiting sometimes. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and finish creating this checkered piece. And then we'll take out my Scenic Windows die. So I really liked how this came out. You could do this all across, either way, but I thought it was a really nice touch. It's not exactly perfect, but that's okay, because when you cut it out, you're not going to see as much of it, and I think it's just a really nice, cool pattern. So as you see with the Scenic Window, it has the 3 holes, and what I also really enjoy is that it creates that big window in the middle, depending on what it is that you're doing. So like I mentioned before, I'm going to go ahead and put that together with the Gossip Girls Christmas stamp set. So here I am coloring with my Copic markers, and I am trying to keep the same color scheme that matches with what I did with the Distress inks. So I'm using a very bright red combo as well as a very deep green combo here for these images. I usually keep my base when I'm creating stamps and coloring with Copics as a Memento ink, and then I move on to my Copics. There will be a list below, not only of the details of the giveaway, but I will also list the Copic marker and the ones that I am using in this video, since it does go pretty quick. My focus wasn't on the coloring. Just wanted to show you how you can pull the images together with whatever matches your paper. As for this collaboration, please be sure to check out all the fantastic participants. You will see the information below. And Whimsy Stamps was generous enough not only to be sponsoring this collaboration, but they are going to be giving away 3, yes, I said 3 $20 gift cards, and it's open for both the US as well as international. So do not hold back to all those people who are from across the ponds to participate. And if you're wondering, I will also put the information for Whimsy's stamp below, because they have fantastic dies and lots of fantastic images. Some of my favorite artists are affiliated with Whimsy Stamps, so I'm so excited to be working with their products. I do have tons of their stamps, so you probably have seen previous videos with it. And these Slimline dies just give you so many options to do things, whether you're someone who likes to stamp and color like I do, or even if you're someone who does not necessarily, because the way that it's structured, you can create gorgeous backgrounds with it, and just use inks and things such as that. So definitely be sure to check out Whimsy Stamps, and thank them so much for taking the time to support us here in this collaboration. So let me get back to the Copic part. So as you can see, I did end up using like 3 different skin combos here. Again, we'll list it below. I often tend to use a little bit of more shading, so if you see that Team 1 coming out, it's really something that I use more to try to get a little bit more depth to my coloring. There are a couple other variations if you follow other Copic marker colors out there. So once that is all set, I am going to go ahead and figure out exactly how I can place these images into that Scenic Window die area that you had seen me cut out in the beginning of the video. Now this is simple enough that I can just go ahead and trim them and put the images right here. And isn't that just adorable right there? I wanted the green to go more against the red, if you're wondering on my logic of my placement. And then I am going to go ahead and place the other image on the other side, so it highlights a little bit more of the green. Initially I was going to start with, so I thought the image of the girl with the reindeer headband would be perfect over there. All I'm doing is going ahead and using some glue. Now, because I didn't stamp all 4 images, I decided that the best way to bring closure to this is to use that cutout that was initially popped out and glue that image there. So it does have a nice way of bringing it all together for the card itself. Now I'm just going to trim it down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull out my tapes to tape this down to a card base. For Slimlines, most of them are about 8.5 by 3 3/4. I've seen some people do 4 by 9s, so you can do any of that as long as it ends up fitting into that business size envelope is what the main theme is. You can't go bigger than 4 by 9 because if you do, it ends up not being able to fit into your base. I had this red foil paper that's been in my stash forever, so I thought it would be really nice to put that as an edging here, and then took out some of my gold Nouveau drops and put them in these little corners. Took out one of the sentiments from that same Gossip Girl Christmas set that says Happy Holidays, stamped that right there on the bottom of it. For color I did use Versaclear, and here is my finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out everyone else, and thank you again to Whimsy Stamps and Craft Collabs for having me. Have a good